In the early 1900s, Sweden had become so urbanized that people were concerned that authentic culture was beginning to disappear. In Västerbotten County, this applied particularly to the old farming society and Sami culture. One way of preserving these was to move a selection of its cultural heritage to a protected area, creating a miniature version of the county, where the goal was to save as much as possible. The Museum of the County Västerbotten has an open-air museum. This idea was inspired by the open-air museum Skansen in Stockholm, which had opened in 1891 to house buildings and cultural settings collected by its founder, Arthur Hazelius. The museum also focuses a bit on Sami history, a decision I think is wise because I personally think that Sami history is not told enough. Soon after the decision of the open-air museum was taken, enthusiastic members of the Västerbotten Local Heritage Association began collecting buildings and objects for the open-air museum. In the summer of 1921, the museum was inaugurated with plays, speeches, singing and music. Over the years, more buildings were moved to or recreated in the area, representing life as it might have looked in the past. Beyond this idyllic image, though, lies knowledge about a society that lived under harsh circumstances at times. Living in Sweden was difficult. During the 19th century, Sweden was a poor farming society. In the middle of the century, Swedish agriculture suffered from many bad harvests. The food was not enough for everyone, and people were hungry. Many then chose to move from Sweden to seek a better life and a better future. 1/5 of the population moved to America between 1850 and 1914. Life in the 19th century Swedish agrarian society was characterized by hard work, scarcity, and a deep connection to the land. Most people lived in small rural communities and relied on farming. Families worked their own plots of land, growing crops and raising livestock primarily for their own consumption. The climate posed significant challenges. Harsh winters and short growing seasons meant that the success of the harvest was crucial. Bad weather, pests, and disease could devastate crops, leading to food shortages. During these times, people often faced hunger and malnutrition. The diet was simple and monotonous, primarily consisting of grains, root vegetables, and dairy products, with meat being a rare luxury. Homes were typically small and simple, made of wood with thatched roofs. They were often crowded as multiple generations of a family lived together. Sanitation was rudimentary, and diseases spread easily, contributing to high infant mortality rates and a low average life expectancy. As industrialization began to take hold in Sweden, many rural inhabitants moved to cities in search of better economic opportunities. However, those who remained continued to face the challenges of agrarian life well into the 20th century. The legacy of this area is preserved in open-air museums, where visitors can learn about and reflect on the resilience and ingenuity of past generations. When I visited this museum, they also had a lot of photographs dating back decades ago about the general life of people living in the county. This piece of contemporary history fascinated me. Does it fascinate you? I think it is an important part of our history to understand our contemporary history as well as older history.